The dark of night is settled in, and across the timber coast, as with the winter season, not even the moons provide much illumination at this time, especially at sea. Upon the swift lyric of modified schooner, 2 passengers are bracing themselves against some choppy weather. We turn first to a half-orc. Dom, would you care to quickly introduce us whilst this weather is getting worse?
I'd love to. So yes, as you say, a half-orc sits or stands on the deck, and he is covered in a mixture of armor, sort of patchwork armor, as if taken from different conquests in the past. Sun-bleached and head to toe covered, he carries a lance upon his back and a shield at his side. Looks a little uncomfortable in the ship. Knights not being accustomed to being on the waves usually. This one, for whatever reason, found himself there. This is Barney Stubble.
Barney?
Yep.
Stubble.
Barney Stubble, yeah.
Excellent. And Dom, as you update, there we go, Barney Stubble. As Barney Stubble stumbles across the choppy deck, we move our eyes and our gaze to another figure. Rob, who are you?
You see a orc hanging onto the rigging. He seems to do so with relative composure despite the choppy weather. He has what looks like long, tattered, black mane of hair. He has a horrific set of tusks that jut out of his salivating mouth. He's looking into the storm with a madness in his eye. Perhaps the look that gives him the name Mad Claw.
Mad Claw. Nice. And as Barney Stubble and Mad Claw are against this awful evening, Captain Brindle, who has been navigating the coast, shouts out to all of you on deck, "Everyone, the Pearl Tower's beacon lies ahead," and he points to a small flame on the horizon. "We pull closer to the coast here to navigate the strong riptides and reef, so it's gonna get rougher. Anyone who can, best to head below." Briefly, Rob, do you have any ranks in like sailing or sailor?
No.
Do you want to add? Actually, no. Just because I know the starting class was
You had a conversation with me, right? I just want to point out you had a conversation with me saying, "Do you think you might be a pirate?" And I said, "Well, I haven't thought of being a pirate, but I can be." And you were like, "No." And I was like, "Are you sure? Because if it's easier for me to be a pirate, I'll be a pirate." And you said no, and I was like, "Okay."
No, I didn't know how much you're embracing the swashbuckliness is all.
Not all swashbucklers are pirates.
Some of them. Anyway, "Captain!" shouts one of the crew. "That can't be right. We should already be at the Pearl Tower." But his cry comes too late. The ship immediately crashes into rocks, scattering crew and schooner in all directions. The dark of night masks the chilling scene as the schooner rips apart upon the misdirected rocks. And to all aboard, all goes black. And hello and welcome to Roll the Bones and another Let's Dig Up. And not just any Let's Dig Up. This is a Let's Dig Up double bill. Yes. I'm Mike and I'm joined by my courageous players, Dom and Rob. And firstly, well, what do we think? Any ideas going into these?
I'm getting kind of like a yabba dabba do time feeling. I don't know what has possibly inspired this particular vibe, but I'm here for it.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what was it, Madclaw.
Madclaw
In
has a
action.
first name, which is why I laughed, because of the fact that you're called Barney Stubble, so he's actually called something Madclaw, but I'm not going to say what it is just yet. I think we're going to save that, okay?
Great.
Good.
But yeah, exciting start to Let's Dig Up. I have had both Bad Light and Frozen Whispers in a folder on my computer for the longest time. I've never looked into them, but they're names that come up, don't they? When you go back through the catalogue, they get a fair bit of mention. So I'm quite excited to see how both of them complement each other. Because, like you say, this is you've decided, Mike, to make this a double bill. I'm really curious to find out why that is as we play.
Yes, I mean, this is just as a starting point. These very much are modules that they're not heavily site specific. They're small areas you can pretty much include in nearly any campaign setting. And as you'll see, I'm going to map them, tie them together, because I thought going through one of them, it's relatively short. Same with the other one. I thought, you know what? Let's marry the two together and see what happens to Barney Stubble and Mystery Madclaw. So, are we ready to jump in?
Let's go.
Always.
Excellent. So, just as we do, for those of you who have never seen a Let's Dig Up with us, everything we have done has been randomly rolled. All the characters, races, abilities, all randomly determined. And for the sake of running the module as unbiased as possible, all the rolls that are made, including mine, are public. So with that, I'm going to jump. It is a very, very cold morning, and we are on a coast. And you come to on what can only be described as a ship's graveyard. And I will just ping you two there. You find yourselves washed ashore upon a rock, surrounded by many others who fell victim to the bad light.
Roll credits.
Now, the cold weather here is biting. It's very much acknowledged that the Timber Coast and the Timberway completely is a land that is in winter more so than any other area. In fact, it suffers from a wintry season for almost 9 months of the year. And at this moment, you're very much aware that you've been exposed to the elements, even so now that you've just come to, that if you're not careful over the next couple of hours, you may fall prey to frostbite or hypothermia. So best to take into that, just keep that going somewhere in the back of your mind. Now, just for the sake of this, you are suffering no ill benefits from being knocked out. I don't want to now just say you're on 1 hit point. But you are coming to in this ship's graveyard.
Mad Tooth is sorry, Mad Claw, not Mad Tooth. That's his cousin. Mad Claw, his eyes snap open, like for a moment, like in the darkness of this condition they were in, knocked out cold on this in this sea graveyard, ship graveyard. He's like hearing the screams mixed in with the waves, and then his eyes snap open, and he'll look around and go.
Barney will wake up with a start at the ground and go, bleeding heck. And take a look around. Is anyone else alive?
I yet breathe.
Well, that's a bit of luck, innit? Glad you didn't end up in the drink. I don't think I'd be able to swim too well in this outfit.
You would condemn yourself to a watery grave, wearing all those pots and pans.
Yeah, forgot to pack me cosy, didn't I? Is anyone else alive?
I fear we may have been the only two strong enough to survive.
Well, if anyone else lived, I'm glad it was you, mate Claw.
And you. You're the only one I can trust to have me back.
Always, and Barney will swing out his hand for a clasped.
Predator.
No, like in Predator. As the muscles tense.
I smell blood.
Where the hell do you think we are?
Madclaw's gonna do a big sniff, and by a big sniff, he's gonna try and do like a search check or something to a ward of some kind.
Well, first,
Barney will also do a bit of a sniff.
as you're giving a check and a sniff, let me just recite this. The twisted and shattered remains of numerous ships lie scattered across a narrow strip of beach that would lie northwest of where you are. Pieces of broken hull, torn beams, and other detritus drift just offshore, where a coral reef, obviously the source of the problem, is just barely visible beneath the waves. Crabs and other coastal scavengers pick through the wreckage, and waterlogged refuse of all sorts covers the sand. Thumps and creaks are audible as the waves push wood against wood, and the powerful odour of rot overwhelms the fresh scent of the ocean. Seagulls circle overhead, but not a single seabird lands near the destroyed vessels. From the largest of the remaining hulls comes the sound of scratching and ripping as though wet cloth were being torn apart. A square column of hewn stone, backed by a cliff, rises above the sorry scene. The column appears to be a square tower about 4 stories high. Its top is level with the top of the cliff. No mortar lines mark any brickwork in the structure. In fact, it looks as if it had in fact been carved from a single piece of stone. The only apertures visible are shuttered windows at varying heights and a wooden door set into a worn stone archway at ground level.
Madclaw is very intrigued by this, and he'll go as if to take a step forward, and he'll go, I can't move.
What do you mean, mate Claw? What's the matter?
I feel like I don't have control. I don't have control of my token. I can't move.
That will make perfect sense. Controlled by Spit Take. Madclaw. That'll be why.
It was as if I'd lost the use of my bodily functions.
Well, you've come to yourself now, haven't you?
As you say.
Is that a tower what the captain was whittering on about before he stupidly crashed the ship?
I follow you. You know the words. And I know. And he runs a long purple tongue along a blade. I know the wet work.
Right, you are.
Barney, you can give me an intelligence check if you want, but you can add your level onto it. It should be fairly.
Probably need to. 15.
Age with your level. Yeah, this from what you can see, this is the only tower around. I mean, it doesn't look like it's a pearl, but like casting your gaze up and down, you can't see any other obvious-looking tower. You can, however, in the distance, spy a flickering light, just dwindling on the horizon, starting to lose its luster against the dawn of the new day. But
what do you say? Shall we head towards the tower? Because it's bloody freezing out here.
Move!
Alright.
I'm going to apologise in advance. He is quite rude, by the way. Just don't take it personally, please.
I'm taking all of this personally, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, there's a film I think you should watch, Rob. So, as you make your way off the rock, you're going to cut across the hull and then off the rocks up into the coast.
I think so. If that looks like the clearest way to go, I think.
I mean,
for sure.
When you're sort of in the northwest area, the water's not going to be deep enough to offer any, risks of swimming. Put it that way.
Oh, I see. Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Where you are, though, there's still a risk, especially for Barney, that it might be a bit risky. Just a smidge.
Yeah, Madclaw looks like he's only wearing. It would be. He's got like the glint of metal upon him, so he's clearly got like some armor upon him, but it's light. A chain shirt. So he should be okay. But yeah, he'll keep eyeing Barney, wondering, about how difficult it must be to exist on the high seas wearing so much armor.
You mentioned about sniffing. Curiously, do you have the scent ability, or is it just...
I don't know if orcs actually do, but I think it would be... I didn't make a note of it. If I did, I'm pretty sure I would have seen it. I don't think I did.
No, dark vision and light sensitivity.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes, it's not quite bright enough. If it's bright light, then yes, he does suffer some penalties.
Yeah, when you get to like midday, the sun's at its zenith, you might have a few issues. At the moment, you're okay. It's just a bit like you've just woken up and that sun's just just
a bit annoying.
In that case, would the two of you give me a spot check, please?
Yeah, why not? 15.
19.
19. And this is... well, with a roll of 11, you both start to see shadowy figures moving in gaps beneath the floorboards on the hull you're on. You can see humanoid shadows seeming to skitter about beneath you in gaps and in the dark spots.
Oi, it's a Madclaw. We're not alone.
What filthy rats are these?
And you are not victim to a surprise round, as 4 ghouls climb their way from beneath the planks and the hull itself. In fact, one of them looked freshly turned, and they were very well wearing clothing very reminiscent of one of the crewmen who was on the schooner with you not too long ago. But they move to strike. Roll initiative.
Oh, for fuck's sake. I don't want a high initiative.
Mad Claw gets 25. He has the improved initiative feat.
I got 20. If that
rolled.
Helps.
I was surprised by your reaction, Dom. I thought you'd be happy to have a high initiative.
This is one of the downsides of being a knight.
Oh, of course, yes.
I can't strike flat-footed enemies.
So, 25, 20, and 6. And as the ghouls make their way to lunge towards all of you, it is in fact Mad Claw, eager for conflict.
Mad Claw acts first then. This is a ghoul right next to me then, yes?
Yep.
I might put like a thing or like a star next to me because I think it's quite hard to see me there, but I'll do that when it's not my turn. Mad Claw will see these disgusting undead emerge, and he knows that his abilities are not well suited to this ilk of foe. He's used to slaughtering the innocent. These are monsters, and he needs every advantage to survive. So he is he's gonna strike, but he's gonna then try and get himself into a good position. We'll see. He will let fly a vicious rapier that he has. Rapier only by name in the book. It looks more like a jagged cutlass sort of looking rapier. By that I mean it has a ringed handguard which he uses to spin the blade around as he then falls into what looks like a primitive form of break dancing combat. And he strikes for a critical hit against an undead. That's a shame. But it strikes true. I don't get my special swashbuckling power, unfortunately, because they're undead. So my insightful strike isn't added to that. So I only do... it's 1d6 a rapier, isn't it? Sorry, that was written down wrong. That was written down wrong. There we are. 1d6 plus 8 points of piercing damage. He just draws this spinning blade out and just slices in, or rather pierces into this creature. And he's going to... He's going to take a free 5-foot step there, and that's his turn.
Very nice. And immediately, with a beautiful practiced attack, Mad Claw cutting away at this first ghoul. Barney Stubble, though, what are you going to do?
Barney Stubble's going to turn to the ghouls on the other side and then say... come on then, you pricks! And then delay until they've had a turn.
You're going to delay?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're now at the bottom of the initiative? Okay. Cockney knight.
Yeah.
It's now the ghoul's turn. So I'll do their movement first. This one will just turn to attack you. I'll get there in a second. This one... 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 can reach you by going around. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Bo, do the dots help make it easier, the green and the red?
Yeah.
Very much so, yeah.
5, 10, 15, 20, 30. This ghoul just moves to there. This one double moves, but can only get to there as it's running across vines and seaweed that are littered upon the hull. And as those two approach, the ghoul that ran at you only gets one attack. So, Madclaw, what is your armor class?
Madclaw's armor class is 19.
19. The ghoul that charged comes in and attempts to bite you on the neck. And do you dodge? Does it just hit your armor?
He does actually have, strapped to his rapier arm, he has a vicious-looking buckler, which is made up of a human skull and some tusks, which he parries the strike with.
Nice. That was that one who came running around the gap. The one that was next to you goes for a full attack. He comes in to bite you first. Oh, that's a hit on your armor class. So the bite connects. He also comes in and attempts to slash at you with a couple of claws. The first is a miss, and the second is also a miss. But the bite finds its way, and firstly, it does 5 points of damage as he runs at you and just manages, whilst you're blocking one, he jumps at your other shoulder and manages to just sink his teeth into you. Unfortunately, I now need you to make 2 fortitude saves, please.
Okay. 18, the first.
D12 for both, so the first one is fine. You resist the immediate effect.
Oh yeah, you should. For clarity's sake, you need to tell me what the save is, by the way.
Yes, so as I said, the DC is a fortitude DC of 12 for the first and the second.
Oh, sorry, that's my bad. Sorry, I didn't hear.
That's all right.
And the next one, 20.
You resist something that makes your muscles feel like they're seizing up, and you also resist something that looks like a very nasty-looking, unclean mouth. Something that might be riddled with disease, shall we say. But you are fine. That is all the ghouls can manage on their turn. Barney Stubble, you took a moment, and then you react.
Barney Stubble will run forward with a "Let's have it, you swimming pool," which is obviously rhyming slang for ghoul.
And make
He'll
swimming pool.
whip out his lance and charge the second here, which is 10 feet, which is
Minimum
charge
distance.
distance. I don't get the bonus for a lance charge because that's only mounted, but I do have a spirited charge which doubles my damage.
Very nice.
So never mind.
With an armor class of... Wait, is that including the +2 for a charge?
Sure is.
Oh.
I rolled a 2.
Yes, with an armor class of 14, it is just not enough, I'm afraid. And the ghoul basically slips on the seaweed and manages to fall under your lance. It's an unfortunately opportune moment for him. With that, however, the swimming pools have finished, and we cut back to Mad Claw.
Does the one that Madclaw struck first of all look quite badly injured by the strike?
Oh yeah, that was a really good attack on it. It's
I think
it's a massive gaping wound on the creature.
Okay, yeah, I think he'll just going to concentrate on that one again. So he's been struck by these ghouls and pushed back into the rigging. But as he gets pushed back, he'll hold on to it and then swing back into them with his attack, hopefully. 28.
Easily.
Yeah, so that is a hit. For no insightful strike damage, so 10 points of piercing damage.
Care to describe how you finish off this ghoul?
Yeah, it's as he gets pushed back, he swings back on the rigging, and that vicious-looking blade flashes as he spins it. And he does kind of like a breakdance roll, and slices basically straight through the creature, and its head falls off.
Nice. It's breakdancing, but it is just so ruthless from Madclaw as this ghoul topples back below deck. Excellent stuff. We're going to cut to the swimming pools now, as you have delayed, Barney.
Yeah.
The ghoul who charged you before Madclaw is going to go for a full round of attacks on you.
Okay, 19 still.
Yeah. So, firstly, with the bite, is a miss. And then with 2 claws, he cuts across you. Oh, and possibly a fumble. We'll just see if he does.
Mm-hmm.
He fumbles!
Yes.
Whilst I roll this, care to describe how you deflect all of those attacks?
It's this one is more dodging. Like he'll. Oh no, that's 98 on the fumble. We should probably find out what that is before I describe what happens.
I'm going to. Okay. I'm taking liberties with this because he is undead. The roll is twist ankle. Half speed for 10 minutes, DC 20 dex check each round or fall prone. I'm going to say he twists his ankle and it falls off.
Yeah, that's
Twists
exactly
ankle right
what I was going to say. So
let me just
yeah.
check his actual dex so I can make that save now. It's not going to be good for him. Although, 15 plus 2. No, not enough. How do you deflect all of his attacks to the point that his foot just comes clean off and he falls over?
He basically overcommits himself, and as he's like a watery, bloated corpse, like he's falling apart anyway, so he like lunges. Madclaw's been doing all this cool, like rolling back on himself, breakdancing kind of evasion, and then like steps out of the way at the last second, and the creature's foot falls between 2 planks that has got a gap between them, and there's this horrible ripping sound as his foot just comes away.
As though wet cloth were being torn apart. Yes, he rips asunder and he drops to the floor. Excellent stuff there. These two here, Barney. The one you attacked first is going to get a full round of attack on you. What is your armor class?
Sadly, because I can't wield the lance with one hand, I can't use the shield, so I lose that bonus, and charging left me -2 to my AC, so it's 15, but I will nominate him as my well, it says shield block, so it doesn't actually specify that you need to use a shield to use a shield block, so I'm not quite sure. Just double check that.
Yeah.
Oh no, it does need a shield, so I can't use that. 15.
15. He comes in with a bite and 2 claws. Firstly, the bite. Oh dear, that's a hit. And then the claws. Oh, that's a critical, possibly. That's just a hit. And the second claw is a hit. Oh! A bite and 2 claws. That is... a total of 7 points of damage over the 3 attacks. And I need... Firstly, we will do the disease roll first, because you're going to make 4 fortitude saves here for paralysis. Sorry, 3 for paralysis. 3 for paralysis, 1 per hit, and 1 for the disease. So we'll do the disease one first, DC 12 fortitude.
Well, one of them's going to fail.
You don't know that yet?
There we go. Yeah, immediately.
Well, let me just check. Oh, it's a set. It's a set thing. So I'm just going to say this
It's a set thing, Dom. Don't worry.
Set thing.
one day. I don't have to roll for this. It's 1 day.
I'm sorry, I'm paralyzed for 1 day.
No.
Why does this?
Disease. You're
Oh,
diseased.
diseased for 1 day.
You won't know what happens and for a day. Now, that's the disease. You have 3 paralysis rolls to make.
Right.
It is a DC of 12 for each.
Failed.
Roll me 1d4, please, plus 1.
2.
You are paralyzed for 2 rounds as
Great.
this ghoul just like lunges at you. He ducked. He didn't duck. He sort of slipped on the seaweed, but that gave him an almost feral pounce-like approach. As he then just continues this charge at you, and he just is on you. He's absolutely mauling you. He's attacking your arm where your shield could have been. Your defenses are down because you've just charged, and suddenly everything just goes. And you fall to the ground as you are paralyzed.
Bloody hell, I can't move, Mad Claw.
Oh, I'm sorry. You haven't dropped. You're not prone, but you are in place and unable to move or act. You effectively have a dexterity and a strength score of 0, and you are helpless. You can take purely mental actions. You're not swimming. You're not flying. So yes.
Cool.
So, the other ghoul, I don't think a ghoul would be smart enough to attempt the coup de grace. And I think they'd consider going just for a full round of attacks. I mean, a coup de grace implies you are exploiting all options there, and I think a ghoul is just going to be ravenous and is going to try to just get at you. Which means he would instead get a +4 to his attacks, and just take your dexterity being at 0 into account for your armor class. So it's either that, or we give a full round, a full attack action to do an automatic critical.
I mean, it's your call. I don't know. It's -5 too.
I'm going to roll because I'm torn where what a ghoul would do at this point. So I'm going to do odds. It will full attack. Even it will attempt a coup de grace. It's going to attempt a coup de grace. So in that instance, he automatically hits and scores a critical hit. Let me just absolutely check these. You automatically hit and score a critical hit. If the defender survives the damage, he must make a fortitude save, DC 10 plus damage dealt, or die.
Yeah, that'll go.
Seeing as this is a coup de grace, I'm not going to use the table. I'm just going to do damage as is intended. So it will be. It was the first one, wasn't it? Oh no, it's a coup de grace. So he would just go in for one big attack. So you will take 8 points of damage. Are you okay?
I mean, yeah.
Okay, so you take the damage. Now you need to make a fortitude save of 10 plus the damage dealt, or you will die. So
Can
you
that
get a fortitude
predict?
save of 18.
That's not going to go well. I think it's 3 as my constitution. Fortitude, rather. There we go. Rolled a 3, a 4, and a 3 on consecutive Constitution.
Oh, Barney Stubble. Oh God. There's a moment where you have this ghoul pounced on you, and you're just frozen to the spot, and you're unable to move at all. And the next thing you know, a ghoul runs at you, and as he's about to connect with your throat, what runs through your mind?
Hadn't really developed the character enough to think of what they would think of when they were dead. Probably just the desert where he's from, the wastelands. Yeah.
And as the sands call you home, the ghoul reaches down, his teeth sink over your throat, and you don't feel it until a darkness just washes over you. As Barney Stubble, I'm afraid you have been killed. However, the fight must continue, because Madclaw now defends himself against 3 ghouls. Madclaw. You have just seen he's dead. Oh, Tom. You have just seen someone who you've come to know on a brief voyage, who you woke up next to on a stranded ship's graveyard. You have just seen them having their throat ripped out as Barney Stubble falls to the floor. What do you do, Madclaw?
Madclaw will watch as Barney tumbles down and is immediately pounced upon, and he'll just snarl and say, "Canned meat."
Wow.
He is going to defend himself in the way that he's always defended himself in this situation, and that is by running. He is going to do a tumble check from this one's threat.
He's lying on the floor.
He doesn't then, in that case. He is going to do a full movement, and this is to effectively run away from them. Which direction was that tower that you spoke of?
If you zoom out at the top left corner. So you can attempt...
Sorry, that was me being done. Oh, right, okay.
If you go to the side now, you'll need a brief swim check, but it's not much. If you go past the ghouls and hop down the furthest rock, you could hop onto the shallows.
I mean running in a direct line towards the top left where I am. That's what I intend to do, yeah. So, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Is there any check to jump over the edge?
Just a swim check. We're not high enough to worry too much about.
Okay.
Actually, no, I will need a jump check. It's a DC of 10, otherwise you'll take some non-lethal damage.
From the water, how high up am I?
It'll be a D3, so 10 feet.
Man, for jumping in the sea? What seas have you jumped into? The Razor Sea.
Yeah. You might land on a fish.
Get any damage for jumping in the sea?
Okay.
Okay, well here's a jump check of 24. So you can stick that up your D3.
Like an Olympic gymnast.
And then swim. Oh god.
Let me just get the DC. It's not going to be too radical. Where are you? It's a DC of 10.
19.
With that, you pretty much are floating, and you can get the movement next turn, taking into account the dive down and that.
Oh, okay.
So that's as far as you're going to really get. We cut to the swimming pools. They are not. I think the term is Alacidon. They're not aquatic ghouls. They're just bloated, and they do not pursue you into the sea. Unfortunately, they are now supping on a meal.
Don't rub it in, Michael.
Okay, they don't engage you, Mad Claw, for varying reasons.
But you can hear slurping sounds as they break into.
You hear one of them go, "Looks like meat's back on the menu, boys," as they all go ravenous on Barney's stubble. Mad Claw, I just need one more. Wait, what was your swim, D? Yeah, I need one more swim check off you just to make sure you can get to shore, okay? You never know. You don't make any progress as you flounder on the spot. If you fall by 5 or more, you will sink. So you can give me another roll as you are getting your bearings in the water.
A 19 plus 4, so...
Yeah, fine. You make your way as you swim out of the water and onto the beach. Now,
I'm dripping wet.
As Madclaw dries off, we are very early on in the session, so I need to pose a question to Dom here, I guess. Would you like to do a live roll of a new character?
I can't make a character that quick.
Okay.
I'm not that good at... I'm alright if I've got time, but I can't...
Yeah, it's going to be pretty on the spot, particularly if it's a random one and it's out of all the many books that exist. You've then got to have to get to grips with whatever the hell it is.
Yes.
Yeah. That's really funny.
Yeah.
Really, that is unfortunate.
We just got ambushed by ghouls, immediately paralysed from the multi-attack. What the hell? I was under threat of taking damage from jumping in the sea.
Just trying to add some jeopardy to the situation there for you, Matt.
More jeopardy, just in case. Just a player character death isn't enough jeopardy. No, of course.
Yes, it is unfortunate.
It is unfortunate. What the hell?
Look, I just took that.
Some of these modules do have a real thing of like the challenge being that you have to pass a test or be paralyzed or like unable to act.
Just check what happens later on.
It's the good old fashioned, the soften them up encounters where you get really messed up, so you start the dungeon or the quest or whatever on the back foot. You've already used up your resources. You've already lost your HP. Yeah, it's real unfortunate. That is rough, man. I'm amazed that's how it starts.
Yeah, I got one attack and I missed it, and then just failed to various constitution, fortitude saves from then on.
It's you resisted. Sorry, no, you succumbed to ghoul fever as well.
Yeah. It was no simple paralysis. He fully caught fever.
Which means
Going to turn into a ghoul.
your body will turn. Whatever's left, if you have anything left, your body will turn into a ghoul in a day's time.
But you know he's just gonna stomp over the edge and just
Drown.
just drown and be
That'll
just a
get
ghoul
stuck
stuck
in the water,
under the water forever, stuck in a suit of armor. That's horrifying.
Yeah, they're not. There's a type of ghoul that is an aquatic ghoul, and these are not them. They're just.
Well, you said that, I
What a
was
way
really
to go,
confused
eh?
by that. I was like, if I'm not being funny, if I was not to say if I was doing this game, I don't mean like that, but like in a general thing, I would probably have them chase, right? Surely. I think you let me off a bit light there, man. I mean, I'm not complaining because otherwise it'd be TPK, but still.
I can tell you the one. I mean, from the book, and this is not a spoiler because it's happened. It says here, since they are not lacedons, they cannot swim.
So it
So if
says
you
it
get
in the
over the
book.
edge,
Oh wow.
they're stuck there.
Oh,
Yeah.
fair play.
So they live on that hull.
Okay, so there is a way to quite easily escape the opening encounter. It's just having your wits about you to think, oh, they're not going to chase after us, which never crossed my mind.
No,
I thought if we jump in the water, or if we go in the water, we're dead.
we're done a kebab.
Yeah.
And I suppose the problem there is you're both very aggressive characters. It wouldn't have come to you to think about it. You would have gone, no, let's attack and just go straight for it.
Oh.
Well, what a ignominious end for
Yeah, they're
Barney Stubble.
they are unwilling to allow potential food to escape, but they're not going to be able to follow you if you go in. So if you're on the hull, they're going to go for you. But beyond that, yeah. Poor Barney Stubble indeed.
Yeah.
Well,
it's just you for the next few hours.
Say,
Rob.
alright,
I'll
let's
enjoy
go
watching. And
I've just been looking forward to this solo adventure. I am the main character.
Is it worth...
what you always wanted.
Yeah, finally.
Finally.
Rob, shall I email you all the stuff as well so you can just run it for yourself as well?
I'll run it for myself, yeah, and I'll be an edgelord in it as well.
Excellent. We're going to have to roll stats for you regardless, Dom. We're not going to implement that, obviously, today, but we need to start that ball rolling. Is it worth, however, for both of you rolling a backup?
I think that's an imperative now, based on the opening.
Yeah, it feels particularly deadly. I can't believe that the opening fight is ghouls.
Ghouls are so hard.
Paralyzed on every attack.
And then the moment you get paralyzed, if you're getting hit, auto crit.
You're done. Yeah.
You're done. They're terrifying. Ghouls are terrifying.
But
it's one of those encounters that on paper looks fine, and then when it comes to it, you're like, oh no, actually,
I don't.
They're a little nasty.
Fine.
Yeah.
I think we know that there's two of us already, which already puts us at a disadvantage. Party of 4. All right, their attention and attacks are divided. That it was like immediately they're all on us. Like, there's only 2 of us. 2 against. Was there 4 on there?
4, yeah.
Yeah. So.
I don't know. If I'd hit that first attack, I think I would have killed one of them based on how many hit points they've got. But
yeah,
and it would have been a bit less scary at that point. But yeah, it's I was just very, very unlucky.
I fully think.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what, Mike? I think it's because I was cursed, because I was like, finally, a chance to play a stupid prestige class that I've always had my eye on.
I know.
And the first chance I get, die in the second round.
Your rolls were so bad. It's just so unfortunate. And those ghouls rolled really well in that round, as you saw.
Well, they didn't need to roll like super well, to be fair. They just needed to do pretty good.
And I suppose because you didn't have your shield on and you had charged, I'm guessing the armor class was 19? 18?
19 with a shield. And then
And then that's even more if you use the...
Yeah, and I could have used the shield block to make it up to 20, but obviously not wielding either of those things.
Yeah, that's
Bit
unfortunate.
of a, I guess, a little bit of a mistake on my part.
I don't think that's the. I mean, it's unlucky. I would have chosen exactly the same thing probably.
Yeah, definitely wouldn't say it's a mistake.
No,
but
I wouldn't
yeah.
say it was a mistake at all.
Rob, you had a look on you that was like a revelation. You were like this.
Yeah, I think I have had a revelation. I don't know if I should say. Fuck it, I'm going to go and say. And you can look back at this, because I have had a revelation, and it made me think, oh my god, Mike's like a DM psychopath. Because we had this conversation. We were like, we randomly roll these classes, right? Don't we? And then Dom's rolled a knight. Okay? And Mike said to me, I'm not throwing him under the bus. Don't worry. It was like it's gonna get like people will already be used to the knight, like because Mike's next character potentially might be that. So I suddenly thought, oh, that's one way that Mike solves that
to
problem.
guarantee I'm the only one who gets to play a
the knight doesn't survive the opening encounter. That's a great way to make sure that class is kept aside.
Oh.
No, it's a funny series of events.
Yes,
the one like prestige class I've always wanted to play like as a stupid thing. The one class that Mike was about to play, and I.
Can I show you the token I had prepped for you as well?
Yeah, let's have a look.
It
was hard to see.
I actually, which is a shame, I spent £4 and I bought a pack of them on Roll20 and I never got to use them.
Oh my god. Oh, that's so cool.
It would have been a toss up between that.
Yeah.
Or why is that one so squished? Something like that.
Oh, they're rad. Sorry, you didn't get to use them.
Well, there you go. We both invested in.
Yeah. So Rob, my character is gonna eventually prestige class into an Ashworm Dragoon, which I've mentioned before. So his mount was going to be an Ashworm.
The minute you had got onto the shore, I was going to literally the minute you touched ground, I was going to offer you the chance.
Didn't even get to it.
I know, that's the problem.
And it was so early on that you were going to give it to me.
Oh my god!
What a joke!
Oh, that's so unfortunate.
Yeah.
Hey, Ashworm Dragoon will appear at some point in the future. There's obviously, maybe it's the dice gods saying, no, give that character its credit in the future. Maybe.
Bad Light and Frozen Whispers are both set far in the future of the Let's Dig Up canon timeline, shall we say. So, maybe this was the last adventure of that character, but actually loads more will happen, where he can never get above level 4.
Yeah,
who knows?
Never become
wibbly wobbly and all that.
Yeah.
So
maybe he somehow survives and can
somehow survives.
That's a good point. Yeah, Magclaw didn't actually see him die. True.
Yeah, and maybe it's like in The Walking Dead, where no spoilers, but somebody appears to be dead and then isn't dead.
Oh well.
The Walking Dead.
Yeah, it's finished, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he goes. Doesn't he fall in a tank in season 1? Like he hides in a tank, he falls through.
He hides underneath a bin or something like that. It's very stupid.
He hides under a bin.
Follow me.
No, there's a bin with a tank. Oh, you mean the guy that you're thinking of hides under a bin?
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Gotcha.
Right at the start.
I'm talking about right at the start. Yeah, I think. Yeah. Anyway,
right.
Enough Walking Dead.
Regardless of what we do in the moment, I think the first step. Do we wish to show the rolls?
We can do the rolls. Yeah. I've actually had a few people come forward and ask about the table that we use. So I will do my best to try and make that available.
Yeah.
We have used a certain system to do that. Well, you can maybe talk about that, I guess. But for the start,
convention.
yeah, for the start, do you want us both to roll our stats?
So,
Thing?
I'm trying to think. The best option would probably be if we did Dom next character, and then we do backup characters Rob and then Dom.
Oh, okay, cool. All right.
So we'll do stats, then race, then class. In that order. We won't do Doms all three. We'll do Dom, Rob, Dom, stats, Dom, Rob, Dom, class, race. It'll make sense. Okay, right, Dom. So TLDR, Dom, 4d6, lose the lowest, and we'll do that 6 times.
Yeah.
Which, for those of you who roll your stats, 10. This is one of the main ways you do it. Some people do it 3d6, some do 5, or you can do a point buy. We like the chaos.
For this specifically, not for the main campaign.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're losing the lowest.
That's 10, 14.
14, 15. I'm already rolling higher than last time, so that means I'm probably due an 8 or something.
11.
Oh, this is pretty good so far. Not bad.
13.
Dude, you've
pretty
done
good.
well. You've done pretty great there for a Let's Dig Up array, for sure.
Yeah, there's nothing below 10, which is really unusual.
10, 11, 13, 14, 14, 15.
I feel like you're owed it, Dom, after that, to be honest.
10, 14, 15, 11, 13, 14. So
Yeah, I was.
You did it the other way around, yeah.
Cool. Excellent. So make a note, that's for your next character.
Yeah.
Rob, let's do some stats for your backup character. So, same again.
Okay, let me copy it so I don't have to keep typing it. So 46.
18.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so first 46.
That's exactly what Tom rolled before. Just
so that's
14.
14. Yeah, you'll work them out quicker than me.
11. 11.
This is lining up to be a real middle of the road.
11.
I am.
This is
farmer.
worse than.
Yeah, I just better pray Magclaw doesn't die.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, to be fair, you'd.
11. No, 14.
14.
So 2 14s, 3 11s.
That's all right.
All right,
That's
yeah.
workable.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one.
Yeah. It's 11 or 14.
Fortune. Bring me fortune. Wow!
17.
Nice.
I'm all right with that.
Really good.
That is 17,
Yeah.
14, 14, 11, 11, 11.
For a character you're never going to get to use because
Yes.
Maxwell's not going to die.
Absolutely.
Yeah, unless he goes into the cave or into a place where there's more ghouls.
It's just never going to leave the beach.
It's just ghouls all over.
All ghouls. It's the bad light. It's the bad ghoul campaign. You wondered why I used the horror sort of setting for this. Okay, Dom. Backup character stats.
Okay, 12.
12.
Oh, 9.
9. 13. 11.
Not lining up to be quite as good. 12.
12.
10. Yeah, that's awful.
So, yeah, your backup character is not as
It's a real piece of shit.
yeah. Okay. So, the way that we roll for races, primarily I take it from the player's handbook. The player's handbook mentions 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 races. So what we do is we roll a d8 and we just literally take it as it is on the table in the player's handbook. If you roll an 8, it's DM's choice. So Dom,
3.
that, I'm so sorry, is another elf.
Oh,
Another elf.
Again, feel free, any variety of elf, go for it. That's up to you.
Cool.
Rob, give me your backup character roll.
Yeah, here comes the
traditional
D8-7. Oh, I wish.
That's a halfling.
Halfling. Okay, I've rolled with a halfling. Yeah, fair enough.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all right
And
with that.
Dom, give me your backup character roll.
2.
That is a backup dwarf.
Ah, well, dwarves are reliable at least.
Okay, so races are set, stats are set. I know I sent you the link, Rob, and you can put that in the comments or in the description, but just for those of you listening, there's an old forum on Giants in the Playground where I'll give credit to someone called Mike Miller, who has compiled what they call the truly complete list of 3.5e base classes. They're organized by class tables. So, firstly, they detail the book, and then across from that, all the classes. So, the way this works, I skip out the Dungeon Master's Guide because nobody wants to roll and be a commoner, for example. So, again, as we do, we roll a d19, of which the first 18 correspond to a book that is mentioned, up to the point where the classes just won't work. On a 19, it's DM's choice. Depending on the number, we then figure out what the roll is to correspond with the class that lists in that book. So, Dom, roll me a d19.
10.
Okay, roll me a d4.
D4.
Do you tell us the book, or are you going to tell us the book and the class in the one go?
Look in the class.
Okay.
Dom.
Yeah.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Had to make sure. You have rolled the Expanded Psionics Handbook. And you have got a soul knife.
Oh, get in! I love the soul knife.
I just don't know how they work.
They're great. Oh, you'll love
It
them.
means I'm going to have to do research for obviously.
They're the easiest psionic class,
Homework.
I'd say.
Yeah. They don't actually have any power points, if I remember correctly. They just can manifest their weapons.
They still can use PowerPoints, though, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, that'll be fun, probably.
I believe, anyway. I could be wrong.
Excellent. So that's your main class. You are a soul knife elf. Let's look at your backup classes. Rob, D19, please.
Yeah, D19. If I'm a tactician again.
Marshall.
Marshall, sorry. 15.
15. Roll me a D3.
Oh no! If it's a small dice afterwards, you know
Yeah.
it's like a really obscure one where they've thrown 3 random bits of trash in the back. What was it? Sorry, D3. D3. 2.
You are a halfling sword sage.
Whoa!
Oh no, to be fair, sword sages are great.
That's so cool. Oh,
Silas
Silas himself. My goodness.
So a whole bunch of maneuvers in there you can use.
Halfling sword sage. That's wicked. I'm actually really happy with that.
Yeah, and there's a whole bunch of things that there's a whole lovely array of maneuvers that don't rely on like heavy damage from size, which is quite nice.
Yeah, thankfully, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Dom, roll me your backup character class.
2.
2. Roll me a d3.
Ooh. 1.
You are a dwarf ninja from Complete Adventure.
Fuck's sake.
A dwarf ninja from Complete
Ninja.
Adventure.
Is it the... Oh,
A
God.
dwarf ninja.
I've just typed ninja into the right thing. Ninja.
A ninja.
God.
Dwarf ninja.
The most ill-suited class for a race. The worst combination of roles. I hope I never reach that second backup character. because it
He'll
won't
be a
go
very
well.
stable ninja. He's not falling over.
Really good at throwing
God.
things. Dodging? No.
No. Okay.
Well, there we go.
Great.
So just to recap, Dom, your new character is
Elf Soul Knife.
Elf Soul Knife. Rob, your backup character is
A halfling sword sage, and I think I've already got a concept in mind, which is dead cool.
cool. And Dom, your backup character is
A dwarven ninja.
I love it.
I love it so much. I love that so much.
Oh God.
I can't wait. What an episode.
Yeah.
As short and
Thanks for anyone who's wasted their time watching the 20 minutes
Listen.
of introduction, followed by 2 minutes of combat, followed by 20 minutes of rolling new characters.
Listen, people have been intrigued by how we've been generating the characters, so that's at least a cool thing that we've got to share with them. And I will link in the comments what Mike has said about where to find it in Giants the Playground and the like. Yeah, I guess that's that. We can take a look at some characters, but I think we'll do that off air. So if you want to sign us out, Mike, I think that's probably a good idea before anything else happens.
You know, I picked 2 modules because I was reading all of these, and it wasn't so much the danger and the havoc. I was going through all these going, that's probably a session. And another one, that might be another session. Oh boy, am I wrong.
Bad Light will take like 16 sessions.
I'm not going. We've not even done the first page.
And eventually we'll get to the 2-parter. Like it's just one episode so far.
Yeah, they're both here, and we've done 1 page. So, well, however, as we know, that's how the bones roll, and I'm sure you've had your games if you're a seasoned player where surprises like this happen, and this is also another reason why, as you've seen, we've been rolling this publicly.
Yeah.
So it is honest to the module as possible, and as you can see, we've now led to a short session where hopefully we will be back very soon with a follow-up, Mad Claw and his new friend. I don't know how Mad Claw will find these people. We'll find out hopefully next week. All that's left to say is, well, rest in peace, Barney Stubble. Rest in peace.
Rest in pieces.
Rest in pieces. Bone them rolls.
Bone them rolls.
Bone them Barneys. Oh wait, no. Bone the stubble. Barney Stubble. Barney.
Depressing.